I ask you something?
Yeah.
About the book of Job, or Job, however you pronounce it.
Yes, sir.
Job. Okay. Why was he so mean? Just a simple question.
Yeah.
Why was he so mean to that? I mean, he made a bet with Satan.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't exactly a bet.
Why would God gamble?
Okay. No, I don't believe God was gambling at all. I believe that God has all knowledge. He's all knowing. So God knows what we'll do tomorrow, today. Okay? It doesn't mean we have to do what he said, what he knows, but he does know what we'll do tomorrow. So what you have, I was just reading Job this morning, so I'm glad that you raised it. With Job, you have God saying, hey, have you considered my servant Job? Right? Is that what you're referring to? He's a good and upright man. He fears me. And God allowed Satan to whoop up on Job, didn't he? He allowed him to...
Not the way I recall it.
Yeah, he said, Satan said, you put a hedge of protection around him. I can't even touch him. God says, okay, you can do this, this, and this, but you can't take his life. So the next thing you know, Job loses his whole family.
Okay, so God's responsible directly.
No, God is not responsible directly. God allowed the devil to whoop up on Job.
So he's indirectly involved.
So he let the rapist in the house, so...
No, sir.
Go rape.
No. I just said to these gentlemen, at times God intervenes, at times God does not intervene. So now, let me finish this question with Job.
You said
at the end of the book of Job, Job begins to struggle deeply with your question. God, what is the deal here? This doesn't make any sense to me. And Job's response, God's response to Job is, Job, stand up and let me answer you a few things. Where were you when I hung the stars in the sky? Where were you when I put this whole thing together?
No, God.
Where were you when I formed the lion and when I formed all the animals? And he goes, it's chapter after chapter after chapter of God pointing to creation and saying, Job, where were you? In other words, he's saying, do you not know how big I am? Do you not know how great I am? So it's not, no, hold on. So hold on, let me just finish this point and then by all means. God was making a point. You're not in a position to question God when it comes to evil and call God evil. Is it not possible that God can use evil to bring about a greater good? Is it not possible?
Well, God's God. He can do anything, right? Why would he?
No, he can't do anything. God cannot do anything.
Then why call him God?
Because God cannot be self-contradictory.
What can God not do?
He cannot make 2 + 2 = 5. He cannot exist and cease to exist at the same time. He cannot make a square circle. God cannot dabble in the irrational. God cannot make rape good.
So he's bound by logic.
No, he's not bound by anything.
You just said,
but he does not engage in self-contradiction.
So he's bound by logic.
Can you make the so hot you can't eat it?
That's the point. When God gave us free will, he could not guarantee that we would not use our free will irresponsibly.
What does that have to do with?
It means that God could not create free will and guarantee that there would not be evil.
Can he commit suicide?
How does that relate to our question of what God can?
Because we were talking with these gentlemen about evil, about suffering, about these tough issues. And so here's the point. God created us with free will for what purpose? So that we could be in a love relationship with him. If you don't have free will, you don't have love relationship. God, his purpose for creating us was to be in love relationship with him. So therefore he created us free, which means he took a limited risk that we would abuse our free will to do a truckload of evil. I've got 2 hands, I've got a brain, I've got 2 feet. I can use my 2 hands to go murder people, or I can use my 2 hands to go feed people. I can use my brain to come up with a cure for cancer, or I can use my brain to figure out the next way to slaughter people in a real sophisticated way. God makes us do neither.
What are we going to do to God? Why does God commit?
When I say that God took a limited risk, what I mean is God could not create us free and guarantee that evil would not occur.